I have lived in Southern Oregon most of my life, and I have gotten poison oak a few times. Poison oak, right by the trail. Anyhow, we're gonna try to avoid getting poison oak today, and we're actually going to help you identify poison oak. The other thing I'm gonna show you is there are some places like we're here in Table Rock, Lower Table Rock on this hike, there's really no way to avoid. You're gonna be brushing up against some poison oak on this trail. And if you left the trail, you're definitely gonna be brushing up against poison oak. No matter where you're at, you go in the woods, I'm gonna show you how to clean the oils off your body so that you do not get a bad reaction. So I'll show you the important thing of what you need to know on how to correctly clean this oil off your body. Okay, here's something we see all over. This is small oak-like, looks like leaves of 3. This is an oak tree. Now, one thing that happens in this area are there these little oak trees, but they stay very short like this. They don't grow up to be oak trees like that. They stay real short, close to the ground, like a shrub. So that it's really hard to tell the difference between them and poison oak sometimes. So my uncle, when he was a kid, so he was in the Cub Scouts, and he heard a story that Native Americans, the way they'd become immune to poison oak is eating it. And you'd have one really bad reaction, but after that, you would be immune. But, so he did that when he was a kid, and he ended up in the hospital. It's a myth that you can eat it?
No, it's a myth that will make you immune to it.
Oh yeah, that is most certainly a myth. Here we have some of that low-lying oak, actual oak tree, and mixed in with some poison oak. All right, so how do I know the difference? Well, okay, here we go. Here we have a branch with all kinds of leaves. Yeah, they're oak-like leaves, it's low-lying. Sometimes these will look a little red, but one branch and it's got all kinds of leaves on it. Over here, which I am not going to touch, you'll see that each branch only has 3 leaves. So it's the leaves of 3, and each branch only has leaves of 3. The leaves can be shiny, they can be red, they can be oak-like, they can be round, they can be serrated, but the telltale thing is that leaves of 3 on each branch. You are correct. That is poison oak over there.
Poison coat. I don't know how to identify it.
Okay. Well,
But I just know that's the first step.
it's the number one way you know that it is poison oak is if you look here. There's 3 leaves, okay? 2 going opposite each other, and then 1 at a right angle. And every set of 3 leaves is only on 1 branch. There's not multiple leaves or multiple sets of 3 on each branch. Each branch only has 3 leaves.
So that's so isn't that poison oak right there?
Yep, that's poison oak. Every single time, every branch, each branch only has 3 leaves. Okay? Okay, so that's not poison oak. And we can tell because look, each branch has 1 leaf.
Oh, so that means I can use this?
Yep.
That's not poison oak.
Nope, that is not poison oak. That is just a little oak tree. You know what, Killian? When I was a kid, on this path, when I was on a field trip, I got poison oak, and I actually got it in my crotch. And I'll tell you what, that's definitely very uncomfortable. Okay, so this is a good example of how to tell the difference, again, from a distance between these more actual oak-like plants and the poison oak. So over here, you'll see that, which is an oak, it's all coming from more or less the same place, like a central trunk. And then these are just all individual plants scattered out. So a bunch of individual plants growing up, as opposed to like right here, again, we have more of that oak where it's coming from more one central place. That's another way you can tell the difference. The oaks are more of like an actual centralized tree. Over there are multiple stalks, but they're coming more from one center place. Where here, it's all spread out. Okay, so here's some of that poison oak that's got that reddish color to it. But as we've been seeing, not all poison oak has that reddish color. Okay, so you've been out in the woods, you think you've been exposed to poison oak, or you just don't want to take a risk. How do you make sure you clean the oil off your body? First off, when I was young, I was told you had to take a cold shower because hot water would open up your pores and spread the oil and spread the rash, which apparently is not true. So I've been suffering all these years for no reason. It does not have to be a cold shower. It really doesn't matter what kind of soap you use, but the key is you want to use a washcloth. You don't want to scrub too hard, but you do want to use a washcloth to just get a little bit of friction to wipe that oil off. And the oil from the poison oak can be on your clothes, it can be on your shoes, and that can last for months in a dry climate. So make sure you wash your clothes, wash your shoes if you have to, clean under your fingernails, and just make sure that any of the spots on your body that may be a little harder to clean, make sure you get those spots behind your back, behind your knees. If you do that, no matter whether you're exposed or not, you should never have a really bad reaction. You still might get a tiny little rash, but if you do a good job cleaning the oil off, washing your clothes, you should be fine, even if you were rolling around in the stuff. I don't advise that, but even if you were rolling around in it, just clean yourself off, you'll be okay.